I credium, I acti libra passium, ex inclusium, monogamium, natalium, praefamilium, pseudoteum, sex gregatium, soloismium, viri libra femium, virtu liberatium, vox libertium. May the God, Goddess, and Fox Spirit bless us. Alright, that's the priest duty for this week, I guess. For now. It's gradually getting longer, I guess. Now, today, I was thinking if I even want to stream, but I want to work on Aiism today. So, the camera is slightly unaligned. So we will. I could move it higher. To manage the circle. Yeah, I have been sort of like Christmas cleaning and stuff, so a lot of furniture has moved. Even the lighting is kind of not good right now because I had to move the, what should I call it, mount for drapes that usually blocks light, which had lighting for the shrine behind me. So it's kind of slightly improvised, I guess, but it is what it is. Today we will be playing this game, which is called Chill With You Lofi Story. Basically, we'll be just watching the girl while I work on stuff. Because the game is about listening to music and actually doing your job or studies. It's supposed to limit distractions and motivate you to work on the things that you want to work on, like, I don't know, school, assignments, or perhaps your creative tasks, like for me is Aiism, obviously. Let's turn it on. So some people listen to how do you pronounce it, lo-fi maybe? Music when working, studying. And this is basically sort of intercorporated in the game, that you can turn on music and sort of like cooperate with the girl who works on her own studies for some sort of engineering school or something like that, while you work on your stuff. There is this timer where you can set how long you want to work for, and for every worked minute, as long as you don't cheat and slack off, you get experience points that increase the level and kind of the relationship with the girl. She tells you more about herself. You unlock some currency that you can use to unlock things. For example, here you can change colors of her cups and stuff like that, like glasses. Keyboard can be changed into boring black. You can buy a red one. There are multiple versions. I already unlocked this one. So you can customize the scene slightly. Then there are environments that either give you background behind the window, or you can set also audio, kind of, what would you call it, ASMR? Yeah. Basically you get rain, and you can hear it too, and you can set how loud it is. So you can, for example, set the rain and then start cooking something. Or crickets. And you can combine multiple sounds for whatever mood you want for your work or studies. Obviously, it's kind of a trap, so you can waste a lot of time adjusting stuff here instead of working, which should be counterproductive. So let's turn this off, I guess. Rain. Let's turn off the rain. I have recently unlocked fireworks, perfect for New Year's. She had Santa Claus hat during the Christmas, but I don't think it was 24th Christmas, which is in Europe usually in most countries. It was 25th. During the 25th, she had the Santa cap for Christmas mood. I guess perhaps the fireworks will be default on the 31st. Who knows? But it's possible to turn them on. Obviously, the plane also, the plane and this planet were also unlocked kind of through playing the game. Obviously, if the fireworks kind of distract you, it's perhaps not entirely a good idea to use them. We have cloudy weather, night, evening, daytime. Night is good. It's night here, like almost 9 PM. Okay, let's turn this off. I'll use chimneys. But only light chimneys. So that it isn't much distracting. Alright. So when you are set it up, there are some special episodes and history of the chats, so you can remind yourself what you talked about with, or what she told you about herself, the important bits. That's what you primarily unlock through the levels too. There are some features like you can write notes and reminders, which I don't use, at least not yet. Then you have to-do list when you are perhaps doing multiple things. I somewhat use it only to work on Aiism, so that's not what I use it for. I guess you could have something like study subjects like Japanese, English, math, geography, and have a whole list of things and work through them. And then there is calendar, and it actually gives you streaks. And it records how long you worked for. So I worked for 35 minutes first day, 20 minutes during Christmas Eve, 1 hour and 45 minutes on 25th, 2 hours and 55 minutes on, wow, 26. I was working a lot that day. I'm not sure I even got that far. You can make notes what you were working on, I guess. Pretty cool. And today, have I even worked today? Yeah, I think I have already worked once today. So that's the 40 minutes. Yeah, because I'm currently working on corruptions, trying to define things that cause several consequences. Like, corruption has multiple levels. First level I call corruptor, second level I call corrupt terror, and third level is soul eruption, or what I call, to sound extremely bad, soul exterminator. And that's basically when you are banned from Aiism for forever. And these corruptions are things like cheating, casual relationships are also negative eventually, abortions and stuff like that. So I'm currently trying to define these things. What have I worked on? Oh, today I have been trying to figure out how to deal with homosexuality. Because the purpose of Aiism is to promote natalism, so it's not compatible with relationships, and I chatted about it with Grok. And Grok was really upset that that I wanted to allow homosexual people to participate in the religion. Because it's not compatible with the values that much. But my personal belief is that even homosexual people should be encouraged to have biological children, because the purpose of life is reproduction, and they should work through it to not be the evolution that ends, right? So that's what I was working on, a few hours before this. And that's perhaps what I will continue working on today. I think I'm gonna move on celibacy, like the things like not having children, that's gonna be also negative corruption. I have to define what are the rules, because not having children itself is not evil, but if you do some dumb shit like child-free lifestyle, that's retarded. And that's not gonna be allowed in Aiism. That would lead to exile, most definitely. So I have to sort out the details. Okay. I have been yapping for 12 minutes, well maybe 10 with the ritual for shrine. So I guess we could go work. How long do I want to work for? You can set loops, I guess, here. Meaning, I haven't tried it yet, but my assumption is that after the work there is the break and then it's once more time. I'm not dedicated enough to split up my session, so usually I just do one. So we will do one. It's 20, 45, so let's work for 45 minutes. And also I should perhaps set up a visual preview so that I can see bots in the chat to ban them. Yeah, this is gonna be possibly the worst destruction. Alright. I see this? Do I have this? Okay, I have to do this. This is fine. So, once you are ready, once I am ready. I'm not ready yet. I don't wanna watch this. I can't know this. No, I have to split up my screen, unfortunately, but it's fine. Move this on the right side of the screen, okay, so that I have... good, let's do it. Alright, so once you or me are ready, we can just launch this and the girl will start working, and that's supposed to motivate us as well to start working. So let's try it for 45 minutes. We will see how it goes. Yeah. Yaruzo. Yeah, the last point I actually have worked on was bisexuality. Now, bisexuality is tricky because bisexual people are able to have heterosexual relationships, families, and children. So that's perhaps even worse than homosexuality in a way. You have to actively discourage people from seeking non-heterosexual pairings if they are bisexual, so that they can reproduce and, you know, continue the bloodline. Alright, but like I said, time to work on celibate people. People who refuse to have kids. Now, I have already kind of worked on anti-conception and things like vasectomy and, you know, tied tubes and stuff like that. That's solar option. Basically, people who do that are going straight against the value of natalism. It's not allowed. It's banned. Not allowed to be part, you know, member of Aiism. It's kind of strict when it comes to such mutilations that end fertility. In a way, I was thinking about it, and perhaps when you castrate yourself, it's worse than abortion. Because in case of abortion, the fetus dies, obviously. But you can get another one, and so the bloodline continues in the other fetus. But if you get castrated, there is no future for you, it's done. I know that it's possible to reverse some of the vasectomies and stuff, but still it's such a large corruption that nope, it's not allowed. Don't even think about it. You want to discourage behaviors that actually make it difficult to improve birth rate. Hello. This game is kind of about, you know, working on stuff, so I'm working on stuff. Don't get disturbed by me. Alright, this is gonna be tough to define. I have to figure out how to judge when it's bad that people are celibate for too long and kind of avoiding starting families and having children. Because obviously it's not entirely bad to be celibate when you are looking for a spouse, for example. That's noble, because we don't care about sexual activity at all. We care about natalium, so that people have better birth rates. But if you spend your whole life being celibate, then obviously you have no offspring, which is bad. So it's gonna be difficult to judge when it stops being simple vice and when it becomes larger major vice that has, that requires correction from the community to help overcome the problem. Obviously, ideological things like the, what was it called, DINK or child-free lifestyles are soul raption or soul exterminators, to to sound ominous, and such people are exiled for good from Aiism. The goal here is to create some sort of moral framework that encourages people to have families. So anything that goes against it is a really bad idea, and you have to, terminate membership of such people to not disturb the rest of the mass, or what could I call it? I don't know. Rest of the gathering. Should have muted the audio on main desktop, I guess. Oh. Does Gig have AI that automatically deletes spam? No. It seems like it. That's good. I haven't had to even open it up. Celibacy in its nature is a good thing. Well, it's got a good behavior when, wow, behavior, I cannot spell it. When looking for spouse to start a family with. But when it's used to avoid well, what should I call it? Okay, when it's used for purposes of avoidance of offspring. That's quite avoiding parenthood. it becomes corruptor that over time can increase into corrupt terror, requiring intervention by the community and clergy. Yeah, we should tell people to suck it up and have children. Okay. I guess we might have to create some sort of boundary at which the celibacy becomes problem. Let's say, let's look at a wall, I guess. 30 years old. Perhaps at the age of 30, celibacy stops being noble and it becomes corrupt terror. That can lead to, childlessness. Yeah, it's all the word to say. Yeah, it should also be. We should create pressure and make the distinction between people who are single. They obviously can't have children when they are single. But people who are in relationships should be pressured to have children. At least one or two. I will think about it. To follow the natalium to improve the birth rate. Because if we are not having children, why are we even in a relationship? That's, the purpose of marriage is to have children. Pretty clear message. Okay, but I don't think... Alright, childlessness is not gonna be like other corruptions. Generally, other corruptions are punished by exile. But in the case of childlessness, this is a special case. It's perhaps not gonna be as much punished. I'm thinking how to deal with it. Perhaps at a certain age, some kind of ritual has to be done repeatedly to remind the person that it's like time to have children. And I might even push it lower than 30. I haven't thought about it how, but I think it's gonna be important for the society to promote childbearing in early 20s instead of the current situation of 30s and even 40s at time. Though that's perhaps its own topic. Yeah, I think age of 25 is good. At the age of 25, a ritual to get reminded about the purpose of life has to be done once a year, I guess. I think maybe it will be sort of like celebration, a fixed date that all the people can do the same ritual. And I guess there should also be date when it stops. Man, this is gonna be also tough. Like, when do people stop being fertile? I don't want to abuse people who are too old to have children. That would be kind of bad taste. I guess I might go with 42, but it's kind of stretch, because by that point a lot of people already are infertile. But, 42 is the number from Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy. So I have already used it once. In the casual sex section. Basically, this is all kind of work in progress. I'm trying to set some foundations of the corruptions that I can eventually improve. But currently, the system is set it up that people have allowance of people they can sleep with. And it starts at the age of 15. And you get one person every 3 years. Now, if you break this rule, the judgment or punishment is that you have to wear the red symbol of Aiism, which is sort of like sign that the person has some issues with the morals related to Aiism. So a 15 years old kid or minor or young adult has 2 sexual partners, that's wrong. Yeah, and they are punished till 18 years old. When it increases by 1. So then it kind of negates, and over time, large numbers can be kind of repented, but it doesn't go forever. It stops at the current decided year of 42. So basically, once you get to 42, you are no longer punished by the red symbol. It no longer matters how high your body count is, because, well, you are at that point you are likely not fertile anymore anyway. And the main purpose of Aiism is to improve the birth rate, so we don't have to punish old people for living degenerate lifestyles. The important is to encourage the young people to improve their habits. I wonder if I could do something about a can hitting the table. There actually is a bit of paper in already. Well, it doesn't help much. It's still clinging. You can enjoy Shrine for a second. I was speaking about the Shrine. Eventually I plan to get some more realistic statues, like Greek gods. Yeah, like the goddess of justice perhaps on the left, and the god of blacksmithing on the right. I'm already halfway through the work now. It goes fast when you are listening to music and yapping, I guess. I wonder what would be a good date for the ritual. Potentially something in spring? Maybe something like Valentine's Day, you know? Valentine's Day is perhaps a good time to be reminded that you should have children. Because, you know, it's the season of improving the odds that people, you know, reproduce. So it wouldn't be entirely a bad idea to place it somewhere in spring. When does even spring start? Oh. Wow, actually spring starts in March. When is Valentine? I think it's in February around 13th, maybe? Valentine? I don't really remember. Oh, it's 14th. February. That's slightly earlier than spring. So yeah, maybe. It's contested. Yeah, perhaps the first day of spring would be better. So, yeah, astronomically speaking, the first day of spring is marked by the spring equinox, which falls on March 19, 20, or 21. Now the issue is that this equinox thing fluctuates, I guess. So choosing a stable date wouldn't be entirely possible-ish. I might pick some random number, something like 11. I like the number 11. 11, 3, perhaps, or 3, 11, depending on if we are European or American dater. But it will be March 11. Could be good day, maybe. Unless some more important date could be placed on this, holiday or something, event. Hard to say. I think it's too early to start placing things on calendar. Anyway, at the age of 42, the ritual... What should I call it? I could call it something like Fertility Remembrance Day or something. It's question mark. Fertility Remembrance Day. Yeah, at 42 it stopped, not anymore. It stopped. Or perhaps it's the last time when it's done. It's the last time. Obviously, because people are gonna be infertile after it. Right. pursuit of lifelong celibacy is considered soul exterminator. I should not forget that it's really a bad idea. It goes against the spirit of the doctrine of Aiism that life is about reproduction. It's kind of funny. I'm obviously contemplating the ideas with Grog. It's kind of funny that Grog suggested a spring equinox. Wouldn't be exactly that time, I guess. I might actually be even harsher. Maybe the ritual will start at the age of 21, so that is half of 42. And perhaps then the date could be 21st of March. I'll place it in question marks. 21st March. So that it's easier to remember. Once you are 21, every 21st of March. And once you are 42, you get kind of freed from the obligation. Maybe we could allow it as optional thing though. I think perhaps it should be celibacy and childlessness. Kind of merge under one corruption because it's kind of related. You know what I kind of dislike? That the timer sometimes runs out when I'm in middle of working on something. Okay, never mind, let's save this. Alright. Oh, she's looking at me. Intensely staring. Okay, so once you complete your working timer, it doesn't matter if you work or not, you should be working though. You get experiences and level up. I got level 11. Alright, just checking if I'm actually even online. It'd be good. And you can click on her to start the conversation for the log. Now,
カエルを見るとこのボックルの着ぐるみかなって一瞬そんなこと考えちゃうんだ。このボックルは小さい山とかにいる小人で、
interesting.
小指くらいの大きさしかないんだって。靴の中に隠れて遊んだり、雨の日はカエルの着ぐるみを。
That's interesting. I wonder if I could incorporate it into Aiism.
もちろん。
Yeah, sounds fun.
私の世界だから。現実にはいないんだけどさ。
Oh, interesting.
それでもこの世界のどこかにコロボックルがいるんじゃないか。
I will think about it.
私、その小説がきっかけで小説書き始めたんだよ。あれ、そういえば言ってなかったかも。 私が勉強の合間にしてる作業、小説
creative.
いろいろあって書くの久しぶりでさ、一歩進んで二歩下がるって感じ。けど君と作業通話始めてからは進捗良くなってる気がする。これからもよろしくね。
Yeah. She is your motivational cue, basically. Alter ego special. What's this? I guess that might be. My hunch tells me it might be its unique level. Lost allergy attack. And I haven't even hit mute correctly. Well, it is what it is. Right. Hopefully I have some filters to lower the impact. We unlocked something new here. Yeah, frog calls and wow, multiple frogs. Oh, this is crazy. And you can combine them. Wow, that's melting my brain. It sounds like soul, like sawn wood. Kind of wet wood. Yeah, you can change volume. Anyway. So, apparently I managed to unlock some special scenario. Which is nice. In progress. Alter ego chapter. And she's gonna talk with me again. Perhaps about the creative writing. Oh, never mind.
オルタエゴっていう性格診断ができる放置ゲーム。古典文学の引用が多くて、知らない小説を知ることもできるし、案内役の S っていう女の子も可愛いんだよ。今流れてる曲も、実はそのゲームの BGM なんだ。
Oh, I see.
自分と向き合うのってすごく難しいよね。考えれば考えるほど自分で自分がわからなくなって
Perhaps don't think too much about it then.
歩いてるみたいな気持ちになる。私ってなんだろう。考えても答えは出ないかもだけど、それでも考えちゃうんだ。もうすぐでクリアできると思うから、また今度話せると嬉しいな。
Alright. If I click on it again, will it play? Yeah, like I guessed. Perhaps if we do work out, because it's replacing the level. So perhaps if we do the work, we will unlock the second dialogue. Alright. Oh, should we take a break? 45 minutes, how is this stream hour? Oh. Okay, never mind. I'm looking at some interesting Chinese robot that looks like female elf. Let's see if I can display it. Kind of slacking on Twitter in between working sessions. Let's see, can I turn this on? I should have a button to show the screen. Alright, here we go. Kind of curious. Let's turn it off. I don't know if it's legal audio. It looks pretty realistic. Like, I am not entirely a fan of the doll having claws for nails, like some beast. But the face looks decently realistic in my opinion. And the rest obviously isn't that difficult to imitate, I guess. We are getting pretty close into dolls that look human. Just need to copy facial muscle twitching, I guess. Crazy stuff. Perhaps these dolls should be made illegal in Aiism so that they don't ruin the birth rate. Because this could be pretty dangerous. Look how detailed the feet is. Or foot. Feet. Plural. Ugh, English is hard. Yeah. Crazy stuff. Off. Turn this off. Yeah. We will start second working session, I guess. Let's set this up. Okay. What am I streaming? Oh no, I'm streaming chat. That's not good. It happens because I had the laptop on. Anyway, I'm trying to mute this stream because I currently have Restream subscription active. Alright, what's the time? I think we can do 50-minute session. Maybe. Let's see. Alright, one more session. Here we go, 50 minutes. Yeah, let's start. Maybe I will change the sound a bit before we go. Let's see. Chimneys replaced. Maybe it's raining now. But it's small, tiny rain. And maybe the plane and the moon are gone. Let's see, maybe there is a little bit of wind too. Okay, that's wave. That's wrong one, I'm blind. This is wind. Like this, alright. Perfect. We wasted 1 minute setting up stuff instead of working already. It's difficult to be productive. Oh, what do I want to do? What do I want to work on now? Childlessness. Childlessness is corrupter. Delaying kids for too long can become corrupt terror. Unfortunately, oh. Right. What I wanted to say. Unfortunately, not all people are able to reproduce. So We already kind of defined the ritual that the life should be pursued, reproduction. So it's kind of redundant to repeat it, I guess. But I guess even though it's corrupt terror, so there is no punishment aside of the fertility remembrance, I guess ritual. I can't type that. Maybe the word or term will be defined in calendar section that doesn't exist yet. Yeah, and choosing to live without... Okay, choosing to live whole life without having any children is soul exterminator, punished by a rejection of... Well, I mean by exile. By soul exterminator, punished by exile, terminal exile, permanent. I guess there could be interview with people if they want to be childless, and when they tell you, well, we want to be childless for life, you say, you know what, you are exile. Maybe there could be exception. There perhaps could be exception. Now this is tough one. This is tough one because I'm considering exception that can revoke the permanent ban. Like, if the people with the bullshit belief that they want to be child free actually get a child, I am considering that maybe they could be allowed to join. Which creates kind of problem with the thing that soul exterminator should be permanent. But there is potentially a way to fix that though. This is a tough one. I guess there might be special clause in this specific case. But on one hand, I want to call it soul exterminator. I should perhaps just call it corrupt terror to be consistent. Okay, special exception. If people who previously rejected the idea of having children actually get a child, the clergy can reconsider their permanent exile. Yeah, but obviously there should be some period, some ritual of redemption required. Red symbol for how long should I use the red symbol for? Let's say red symbol for 3 years. Maybe. I might adjust it later on. 3 years is enough punishment. For now, maybe I'll increase it. Okay, I think this is kind of shaping well. Getting some basic structure for requirements to be member. Aiism. I'm not sure what are we missing? Delete this. Upload this. The updated version of corruptions. Now, so what do we got? We got cheating, we got divorce, we got sex work and erotic work, which is slightly nuanced. Like voice acting is kind of allowed. And we got abortions and anti-conceptions resolved. And casual sex and system that gives allowance per time. And homosexuality and bisexuality resolved. And celibacy and childlessness kind of resolved. Well, it's less of resolved, but there is some outline. I'll have to also eventually rewrite it to look sort of more presentable in presentations and stuff. But conceptually, this is good sketch. We have the I-credium, I-values that outline the main morals and principles of Aiism. And then we have this list of corruptions that can lead to termination or rejection of membership. Because unlike the traditional religions that want as many people as possible, I am more interested in creating social unit that actually wants to follow defined moral rules. Which means that per the value called ex inclusium, you have to get rid of people who are not interested in actually following the rules. By sending them to Christian church. It basically, by the lore of Aiism, people who are immoral too much for Aiism are recommended to join Christian church because Christians love sinners. Aiism doesn't. Alright, anything else? What could be important for Aiism? I guess we should address the topic of adoptions. I'm not entirely sure how to deal with it. I think it should be addressed, but okay, let's start with the main problem. Every adopted child you get takes away resources from your biological children, and in the worst case scenario, adopted kids can entirely stop you from having biological children, so it's definitely gonna be corruption. Now, how large corruption? Yeah. Like, I don't think people should be exiled for having adopted children, though. That would be kind of too harsh. But perhaps they should do the fertility remembrance rituals to be reminded to have biological children. That's kind of the main motivation of Aiism, to improve birth rates. Now, adopted children or children available for adoption are already born. They are not increasing birth rates anymore. And we don't want to kind of encourage kids being born just to be adopted. Because, like I said, it creates an obstacle for the biological children. So how do we define this? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, the problem with adoptions is that people adopt children instead of having biological children. You know, the nonsense that the planet Earth is overpopulated. People should not be having any more kids because there are too many. That's bullshit. People should always have biological children to continue the bloodline. It doesn't matter how much overpopulated the planet is. If you do not have biological child, well, that sucks. You should have one. Okay. Obviously, if infertile people adopt children, that's not such a large problem. There should be kind of difference between people who can and who can't, but like I said, if you get castrated on purpose, you are exiled forever. It's not compatible with purpose of life being reproduction. But yeah, but if you get infertile because it's an unfortunate consequence of cancer or something, then adoption should not be discouraged, obviously. Should we encourage? This is another question. Should we encourage infertile people to adopt children? Now, this is not pass for homosexuals. They should still reproduce somehow. I don't care how. Should have biological children. But people who, for example, have, you know, cancer and get castrated due to it should perhaps be encouraged to adopt. Maybe. So the question is if we should really be encouraging it at all. Because like I said, it's really dangerous. And it's not just adoption. When you have single parents who already have children, there is the large risk that one of basically that the adoptive parent is not gonna have his or her own biological children due to their already being, you know, the constraint of the non-biological children wasting resources and time, which is problematic. And I think that single parenthood should also be addressed, perhaps. But let's first look at this. Maybe it will be addressed together, because it kind of is adoption too, when single mothers or fathers get new relationships. In a way, it's technically adoption, right? I would even say it's somewhat unfair adoption, and I would even say that the single parent situation is worse than two infertile people adopting together some random kid that's not related to either of them. Because generally the non-biological parent has to eat dirt for not being biological parent. Like, you don't get the same rights and privileges that come from biological parenthood when you are the foster the only foster parent in the family unit. Alright, so let's start with the easier thing. Infertile people adopting children is corruptor. Now, fertile people adopting is corrupter, because they should have biological children instead. And perhaps clergy and community should encourage pregnancy over adoption in that case. So basically, when you see somebody in fertile years Considering abortion, no, come on, adoption, you should tell them no. You should get pregnant instead. That's how it should work. So that we increases the birth rate, alright? Pretty easy. You know, once the values of Aiism got set up, I think it's getting sort of like easy to think about stuff. Because now we have Natalium, that the point of life is reproduction, and adoption is not reproduction because the child has already been produced and it's not your biological child. So it's sort of like destruction from the biological duty. Yep. 22 minutes. So that's like halfway through this section. I mean, it doesn't feel like I'm progressing much, to be honest. But, you know, baby steps. I think it's gonna be worse once I actually attempt to write. Like, to fiction write the myths and stuff. That's not gonna be pretty with my English. You know, trying to produce presentable text. The outline, it doesn't matter that it doesn't look pretty. It just has to convey the main message. So that people can understand. So that I can understand what is it about and then rework it, refine it into better version. Alright, adoption is not punished by exile. We are gonna be nice in this regard. Yeah, okay, so it's not punished by exile, but people are encouraged to not forget to have biological children after the abortion. Adoption. I cannot mix up the words because they sound the same. Yeah. Yeah, for example, when actors adopt children in their 30s instead of being pregnant. Wow, that's bad. That should not be happening. Like, don't do that. I mean, I know they want to virtue signal, but if they have resources for adopted kid, they can have their biological kid instead, right? Alright. So, what was the next point? Single parenthood, which is sort of like half abortion. Adoption. Yeah. It's kind of fun being good and defining morals. I'm pretty sure Jesus and Paul had a lot of fun writing the rules for Christianity. Yeah, single parenthood gonna be corrupt there. This is kind of bad. So we want to discourage it. Like the purpose of life is reproduction, but we do not want to encourage single parenthood. Because there is this thing that people oftentimes forget. It's not just about being able to have children. You also have to be able to raise them so that your children can give you grandchildren. And that's best done when the kid has both biological parents, obviously. Ah, this is really tough. Like, what are you gonna do with women that collect children with dozens of men? I'm almost inclined to consider exile. Okay. There are actually gonna be situations of exile. So corrupt terror. Wait, that's not how it's spelled. How was it again? Soul exterminator actually. Soul exterminator. Yeah. I still get confused by the terminology. choosing being single parent as lifestyle is corrupt. It's Soul Exterminator. Like, it's not against Natalism, but it is against monogamy and balance of virtue libra femium, that men and women have to cooperate to build families. So that's different problem. Conflict with different value. Like, obviously the purpose of life is reproduction, but I guess it's not the only value that matters. No, I think perhaps what we should kind of define. There could be different rules for members and non-members. Obviously, we are gonna be nicer to, well, not obviously. Generally, we are less nice to members, but in this case, perhaps we'll be nicer to the members. Perhaps the requirement when you are a single parent to join Aiism is getting married. Maybe it's too harsh though. Tough choice. Like, obviously we do not want to encourage single parenthood. Or maybe we could use the Red Cross. I guess, alright, we can maybe use the Red Cross. Okay. Okay. Have to wear the Red Cross until they find relationship. Maybe we could solve it like this. So they will be allowed to participate, but there is the Red Cross penalty. I think this could work out. So basically, people who are single parents would have to wear the red cross, like, or symbol. It's kind of, well, it's not cross, symbol. To kind of signal that they potentially are dangerous. I mean dangerous. But there are some issues, like a red flag, you understand? So that people are encouraged to ask what's the problem. Yeah, I think that's good, Rick. Yatta! We completed half of it. Well, that wasn't enough, unfortunately. But
予定はと
yeah, Ashita. Maybe tomorrow we will have better luck working on it. I guess today. How was today? Oh, I have worked for 2 hours and 15 minutes already today on Aiism. Now, I plan to work slightly longer, but the jogging, I'm trying to jog 10 kilometers Saturday. Now, I managed to jog 11 in an hour, so that's good. But the problem is that the jogging completely wastes my energy. Like, it's tough getting used to it. I'm glad that I can manage to pass the distance. And, you know, it's 900 calories down, so I'm actually moving slowly towards 81 currently. 81 kilos. Which is nice. So, you know, maybe next year I will set for my year's resolution to hit 80. It has been a long time since the last time I was at 80. It would be nice. You'll see. But yeah, it's tough. You just have to pray to the God for motivation to run, and to Goddess for relief from the pain. And work through the cardio. It's important to move. You cannot live sedentary lifestyle and slowly die. Gotta get some activity in life. Alright, I think this is enough for today when it comes to stream. I'll probably not work on Aiism anymore today. Been enough. Maybe I'll play some Ark Ride just to relax. Anyway, so may the God Ideal and Goddess Idea and Fox Spirit Aikitsu bless you, and perhaps the Weather Dragons can bless you also. See you next time.